What's up, guys? Coming at you with another video. This one, it's not that I wasn't trying to do it, but I didn't think it was really as big of an issue as I guess it is. Um, that's where you hit nitrous, where you activate it. So this is for you nitrous guys. Beginners, mainly, because anybody that runs nitrous pretty much knows. Nitrous is torque, a lot of it, and it's horsepower. So whenever you hit the button, it's there, it's on. Bigger the shot, the harder it's going to hit, as long as the engine can take it. So where do you want to turn that on at? That's the question people are asking. And the answer I give, or I have people ask, where are you hitting the nitrous on your car? And it's the same answer off the start. Right out the gate. You want to put down as much power as you can from the initial hit. Whether you're at the track, you're on the street, a no prep, full prep, whatever it is, as much power as possible from the rip. Now, that being said, the car needs to be set up to do it. I've seen guys that they'll go wheels up, and I'm talking dragging bumper out 330 feet, half track. If you're eighth mile, half track. And the first thing they do is pull power. Pull power. It just boggles my mind. Saw one guy in my lifetime, at least that I'm aware of, who added power. You might say, well, why would he do that? He was trying to make the car have wheel speed. The only issue with what he did was the road ended up getting better because this was on the street. And unfortunately, the car, when it came down, it got loose and ended up in the woods. Very unfortunate event. And honestly, I think his execution of what he was trying to do, he was on the right path. He could have probably actually added more power because he probably wasn't maxed out. But that's one thing nice about all the technology out today. You got drive shaft sensors, and you can set it up with your ignition box and make traction control. There's a lot of different ways of doing it. And, shock sensors, so when it sees the shock move a certain distance, it pulls timing and does all this other stuff to make the front end stay down. In a way, it's kind of like cheating. Because I'm old school, that's why I'm slow. Because I like the old way of where you're trying to figure out a way to make the car get from A to B without a handicap, essentially. No offense to anybody, because you still have to tune that stuff. If you're... I'm not trying to take anything away from anybody, because there is a lot to it. But, I've seen guys where they bark the tires the whole way down to the eighth. You just hear the car. It sounds like a scorned dog. And to me, that's not... It's money. You spend money and the car goes. It's not really... I don't know. I like the old way of doing things, I guess. But it's not cheating. It's not wrong. I mean, some classes are, they try to outlaw that stuff here and there, but it's hard to prove when somebody has it or don't. But the old school way of making stuff work with multiple stages of nitrous, or the way to put boost in something, there's a lot of different techniques, if you will, or driving a car. I mean, my girl, she says if it's not a stick shift car, it's cheating. It's You're not doing anything. You're just getting in the car and driving it. Um, Everybody has their own opinion, but really, I mean, you talk to some old school guys, they feel the same way that she does. It takes stick cars, a wheeling car, especially if it's fast. You got to wheel that thing to get it down the road. It's not just as easy as hopping in something and letting go of a button and slapping a shifter once or twice. You're on for a ride. And you can ask anybody, I think everybody will agree with me, a 10-second stick shift car feels like a 9 or 8-second automatic car, Used to It used to be a slow stick car feels like a fast auto car is what people used to say. And a stick car is fun. I like driving a stick. But that's a little off subject. Getting back to where to activate the nitrous from the hit. There's a lot of technology out there to make stuff work. And there's ways of making it work. Like I say, these guys they pull nitrous usually. They mess with their progressives and change their ramps on how the nitrous comes in and all this other crap. Meanwhile, they got cars working. If you're blowing the tires off, that's different. I could see, okay, play with it, especially if you're testing before racing somebody and you just got to figure out how to get the thing down the road. It's a different story. But when you're out there actually testing, you don't necessarily have a race that you need to go to, or a race lined up that you have to race somebody in. You can try different things. And some of these guys, they, for instance, there's a guy, I mentioned something to him to do, to try, and they even care to listen. The guy that has a shop comes and tells them what to do, pull power out of it. And they think the car's doing great because it's going A to B. Meanwhile, the guy was just dragging a bumper, like I said, 330 feet out. The car's working. You got power going to it. It's working. Why are you going to pull power out of a car that's on the bumper? You're hitting it with nitrous. The car's moving. It's working. Why are you going to pull power out of it? You got like 3 other options right off the bat that come into my mind. Tighten it up. If you can't, add weight to the front of the car, not to the back. Add it to the front. Then if it blows the tires off, or if it's still wheelies, then one of 2 things. You either added too much weight to the front, or you didn't add enough. And another way of fixing that is you take the weight that you just hung off the bumper and you move it to the front passenger floor of the car. Now, this is a tricky situation here because now you have anti-roll bars coming into effect and stuff, and the car is going to start getting a little messed up with stability when you have an anti-roll bar on a car like this. But there are ways of putting weight in a car to try something to go down a road A to B. I mean, I see guys who don't even reset their anti-roll bar going to a no prep, putting 300 pounds in the back of the car. But yet you're scared to hang 40 pounds on the nose and see what it does one pass. And it's not like you got to make a full 1/8 mile or even a 330 hit. You do a burnout, you back up in it, you bang it, and if the thing just grenades the tires off of it, then you know to let out. If the thing starts to ride out, you guys know your cars. If the thing's up a certain amount of distance, or if it keeps on walking up, you let off the nitrous, let it ride out, let it come down, however you guys, whatever technique you want to use to get the front end back down. I don't understand this pulling the power when you have a car that's that wheelies like that. I just don't get it. But and that's just one example. I mean, there's a lot of guys that do it. If you're one of them and you watch this and I offend you, I'm sorry, apologize, but leave a comment. Let me know why you guys think that's a good idea. That should be last resort, pulling power, especially on a nitrous car. Off the hit. No prep, you might say, well, no prep, you can't do that. No prep, your first 40 feet are usually your best. After that, the track sucks. So if you can get all that nitrous in, pound it right at the initial hit, and have that thing where it's glued, it's going to be your best option. That's what people try and do. They try to run it out. And you see it. If you watch No Prep, I'm sure you have seen it. These guys, they ride out, they get about half track, they put the other kit on, or they ramp the boost in, and you see them blow the tires. It's a smoke show for the rest of the race. Constantly, I see it. It's like anything else, though, racing. It evolves, and people start to learn it, and it gets faster and faster. These guys they're flying. They're starting to figure it out. Starting to learn that anti-squat actually works for no prep. Finding that was the first person to agree with that was like my jaw hit the floor. Couldn't believe that. You guys might be wondering why I'm going off on these little tangents, but it all has to do with putting power as soon as possible. Your 60 foot is probably your most important time on your slip. You can tell a lot by a 60 foot. A lot. That first 60 feet matters more to me than anything else, really. The mile an hour can be whatever it is. If I do a 1/160 foot and I go 90 mile an hour in the eighth, and the car's flying, putting down a good time, oh well, it don't mile an hour. But guess what? It's getting there quick. That's what I care about. It's better to get there fast than to put steam in the back door. So the simple answer to the question is bang it from the rip. As soon as you're full throttle, leaving off the light or off the arm drop or whatever it might be you're leaving. I don't care if it's a street light. Leave with it if you're able to. If you just blow the tires clean off, then clearly you're not able to. There's a lot of other factors that play into this. Like I said, the car's got to be set up for it. The suspension needs to be set up for it. It's got to be set up for that power to come in. If you're a guy that's kind of like me, or how I used to be, I used to run a lot on motor and then switch to nitrous, make a couple nitrous passes, and go home. That's borderline hard to do. The reason is because if you're all out, your suspension's set up all out for you on motor, and then you hit it with nitrous, it might not be able to handle the nitrous. On a low power car, it's a little easier, because you can get away with a lot on a low power car. You don't make any power, so as long as the track's good, you can usually get away with hooking and being all right. Something with some power behind it, that's going to be a really tough thing to do, especially if it wakes up on the bottle. But I can give you a pretty good example, though, of why you want to hit it from the rip. My dad's car. Put nitrous on it. This was years ago. We go to a track, and he just wanted to see how the car would get down a mile an hour and all. So he let the car kind of ride out, and I'm watching it. I was racing him. Had my Fairmont, my first one. And, he's out. I see the car pick up a little bit, and it's sailing. I'm like, oh, okay, here we go. Thing runs pretty good. He goes like, I think, 1150 on nitrous with it. Like, oh, all right, not bad, you know. I think that's what it was, 1150, somewhere around there. From like a 12, I think the car went 1270s on motor. Had a real cheap converter in it, stock motor, same basic crap we run. His car's full. It's got everything in it. You guys have seen it. Full interior, stock K member. It's got traction action lift bars on it. Lakewoods. So it comes back around. Yeah, it runs pretty good. And it wasn't on a big shot. I think we had it on like a 125 shot or something with the real small solenoids on it, the power shot solenoids. But I actually picked up quite a bit. It went from a 1270 to like 1150s. Like that. It's like, oh, okay. But I noticed the 60 foot was like a 173 or something. Like, that's weird. It goes a 176 on motor, 173 on the bottle. So I'm like, where'd you get the nitrous? He goes, like right before the 60 probably. I'm like, oh, okay. And I'm looking at the slip. I'm like, that makes sense. Picked up, like 3/100ths of a second, a 60. All right. So he lets me drive it. He wants to see the car or whatever. And I'm thinking, you get the nitrous relatively close to the starting line. Whatever. Not really thinking much thought of it. So I pull up, do a burnout. Nitrous, he had the old, it's an 84 Mustang wheel, the ugly one that has like the horn up here and it kind of droops down, and then it's just the round wheel. I had the nitrous wired right to the horn, so you have to hold the horn. So you have to hold the steering wheel on the post and push the horn and then shift it. I mean, C4 in it at the time. So I bang this thing right off the gate. I put on the converter a little bit, just over idle, and I hit it right from the hole. And this thing, it left hard. To the point where the car came up, it rolled over real hard on the tire. The one tire was basically on the ground, the other wheel was like 2 feet in the air. And it carried it out. And when it came down, I had bump steer. So I was trying to shake the wheel out of my hand as it comes down. And I wasn't expecting it because he hit the nitrous relatively close to the starting line. So I'm not thinking that it's going to leave like that. I mean, it carried the front wheel to the 60. So, I mean, it went a 153 60 foot. This thing, it woke up. And it kind of went toward the wall, and I'm holding it, and I'm slowly pulling it back. They thought I was going to hit the wall, him and his buddy John. They were talking back and forth. They told me after my dad did. But I stayed in it, made the pass, because I had it. I just couldn't yank it, But I brought it back nice and smooth. The car went like 1130s. Like 118, I think, if I remember right. So that's how big of a difference. Just that, I mean, you're talking a 40-foot difference, let's just say. Just about. because you probably hit it 20 feet before the 60 foot. So 40-foot difference. That car picked up 2/10 in the quarter. So that's how big of a difference. We didn't change nothing except for where the nitrous was activated. That's it. That's what you guys are giving up. You guys that are hitting the nitrous, I just hit it through second gear and carry it on. You guys are giving up quite a bit. I rather see the nitrous activated, to be honest, probably the first 330 feet and then shut off and ran out the back than from after the 60 foot on. I think you'd be surprised to find out that you're probably going to put down almost the same pass. It's just the 60 foot and the mile an hour are going to look completely different, but the pass is going to be relatively close to the same. If not, the time will probably be the same. Depends on how it reacts off the start. A buddy of mine, his car was a dog no matter what he did. He could spray it out the gate and the car would leave, and then it would pick up and start to go, almost like it was delayed. I mean, he went like a 2.0 60 foot on motor and then like a 1.7 on the bottle. It was disgraceful. It was slow. Like, the guy, he doesn't understand the difference of what that car could have did, because that thing would have woke up with the right converter in it. But that activation, leaving with the nitrous, it makes a huge difference. Huge difference. Converter is the same deal. Huge difference. They all that stuff play important roles with each other. But hitting it off the gate, guys, I can't stress it enough. If you're worried about breaking something, upgrade whatever you're worried about breaking. Or that part might even break while you're banging it rolled out. So, I mean, if you're worried about a rear or an axle, put the good stuff in it. That way you don't have to worry about it, because it ain't worth it. That's pretty much all I got on that. You know, if you're going to run 2 stages, you're better off running 1 big stage right from the rip. It's always going to go fit. The more you can pump through it, through the start, the faster the car is going to go. Point blank. I mean, it's just like building a motor. When you build a motor for all motor and you just keep on throwing stuff at it to make it faster and faster and faster, you know, the right stuff. And I'm saying you're picking up power every time you do something to it. The car just gets faster and faster. Time gets faster. 60 foot improves. Mile an hour improves. No different with an adder. Same deal. You add boost, faster you get it to boost off the start, faster it's going to go to the end. It's like an extra little push. So the faster you can get that thing to have power all in, the faster you're going to go. Same deal with nitrous. The faster you can get that all as much in as possible. And I see people, it is wild. I see guys run 300-400 shots of nitrous. 300-400 pumping through these engines. They'll leave on 100, or they'll leave with the progressor at 70%, whatever, however them guys are doing it. You're going to the 8th, and you're leaving on a fraction of the nitrous that you're hitting the car with. Why not just hit the thing with a 200 shot and call it a victory to the 8th? A full 200 from the start to finish, instead of progressing in 400 shot of nitrous. I don't understand that one bit. I say it. I hear about guys doing it. I hear about guys that actually know this stuff, that agree with my way of looking at it. They put their tune up in the car, and the car goes faster. And then you see the car a week later back at it again, 400 shot. And they're back to their progressive and all this bullcrap. Meanwhile, the guy around the corner just tuned the car, and the thing went A to B, no problems, hooked up, on half the nitrous, because you guys want to hit something with a 400 shot. It blows my mind. I don't understand that. I don't get it. Explain this to me. I know times must have changed from the last couple of years that I haven't been out. I mean, I haven't been out for like 2 years now, but I'll tell you, this stuff must have really changed. Because I remember back when I ran, when I was out there grudge racing people on the street, it wasn't about, I got a 400 shot. It was about trying to downplay what you had to the absolute worst. So that way people thought that the thing was just a dud. Yeah, it's on a 150 shot or yeah, I'm on it's on a jet. People won't even tell you your jet spreads. That's why I'm on a 150 shot, because there's no point putting more to it if the car can't hold it. My car worked on a 150, went A to B. The 630 passes at the track that I was putting down at the track, my car could do it on the street. I didn't have the fastest car. A car not by any means was it fast, but I beat a lot of people, especially to the eighth. Not many people had me to the eighth. This car would be out on them to the eighth. There was one car that I can remember off the top of my head where it was like just punched me in the face and was gone. My car spun. It was on a road I never raced on before, out of my territory. I traveled away, didn't even make a test hit. My own mistake. And I learned. And I raced the car that I should not have even been sitting next to at all. And it's no excuse. I ran it, I paid, I lost. Period. But that car beat a lot of cars. Like I say, especially to the eighth. If you want to count to the eighth, there was quarter mile races that I lost where this car had cars bust. I mean, bus lengths to the eighth. Bad, like disgracefully bad. They're on YouTube, some of them. And that's usually hard to run down. That just goes to tell you how nasty some of this stuff is out there. To be able to run that type of gap down, for you guys to understand what a 630 pass is, it's a 990 pass I'm putting down on the street, and this guy's running me down. I mean, he came past me right, probably 1,100 feet, 1,200 feet. There's 1320 in a quarter mile. But I'll put it to you this way, they wouldn't give me the race I wanted to the eighth. I wanted the break to the eighth. They wouldn't give it to me. They gave me the break to the quarter, and he came past me. And I tried it, because I wanted to see how it was. Ended up being a free race anyway, so it didn't matter. If that's the case, I don't care. It is what it is. But that's one of my losses. And it was a stroked out, built motor, and a car with weight out of it, automatic. A lot of nitrous, 400 shot through it. So that just goes to show you, that's the type of stuff I ran with this car. And here I am with the junk setup I've told you a million times about on a 150 shot with a stick in the car. So, but the car would do it. 990, 10.0 on the street, because it was everything I had. I had a progressor in the car. I tried it. It sucked. I hated it. I think I tried 2 test passes with it, and I shut it off. So, this ain't it. So I'm better off just hitting this thing right out the gate. Every car I've had, the black Mustang, out the gate. My blue 4-door car, out the gate. If it had nitrous on it, out the gate. The Blazer, out the gate. I might have played around here and there where, maybe with one of my buddies messing around. But always out the gate. There's a time with the black Mustang, I was out testing the car. And the guy rolls up. The car was yellow at the time. Camaro. They just put a new motor in it. Guys are pretty cool. I'm out there. I put a 2-step on the black Mustang. Automatic. It's a foot brake car. I wanted to try it. So me and my buddy Mike, we went out. And trying to 2-step. They roll up on us. They park the car at the side. I'm sitting here I'm letting off the brake in the two-step, mashing the gas, and the thing's backfiring through the carburetor. Stalling out, shutting off. I couldn't get it to come up high enough on the foot brake to leave off the two-step. I'm trying it on motor. So, it's my daily driver, my only car at the time. I had a little subwoofer in the back and stuff. It's a street car, you know. Radio and stuff. So, guys aren't really paying any mind, but we're both out there. And we get to talking. They're like, oh, guys out here testing. How's the road? It's pretty good. Made a couple, passes and stuff. Been doing burnouts and everything. Oh, all right. Yeah, we just got a new motor in this car. Guys want to run? Do something? I'm like, yeah. Sure, no problem. So you care if I spray it? No, go ahead. Okay. All right. I got a stock motor. I show them the car or whatever. Oh, all right. Stock 302, nitrous. All right. Yeah, sure. So, turn it on. Mind you, they just saw the car popping, spitting, sputtering, stalling out, running like crap. They don't realize what the car can actually do at this point. So they put me in the other lane. They said, if you're going to spray it, we want the right lane, which is the lane, of course, that I was been testing in. So it's good. It's sticky in the right lane. Whatever. What they didn't realize is we had a bug sprayer with VHT in it. So we prepped the other lane. Me and my buddy prepped the other lane. We could do it pretty quick because this is how I had my car working at the time. Prep it, set it on fire, drag it out. So they're doing whatever with their car because they wanted to let it rest or whatever. I got the bottle. My buddy's doing the road. And they're like, what are you doing? He's like, prepping the road. You guys wanted the good lane, so we're prepping it. What? Alright, whatever. So, do our burnouts, roll up, whatever, back up. And I think my buddy flagged it, or the guy had his boy flag it. And I banged. I had two kits on the car. The way I had it done, I had 4 solenoids with a Y into one plate. And I activate both right from the hit. One was on the steering wheel. I had a button that slid in, and then one was on the shifter. So I banged both. Boom, right out the gate. Car leaves, works. And I beat him. I come back, and they're like, dude, we didn't know that thing ran like that. We're like, yeah. We're like, dude, we just watched that thing. It was spitting, sputtering. We didn't think it was going to be like that. I said, no, it runs pretty good. So it ain't bad, And now they're looking at the car. They're looking inside of it, and they're like, this thing's got tunes in it? I said, dude, this is my only car. I said, I'll be driving this to work tomorrow. They said, what? I said, yeah, it's junk. And I think I opened the hood and showed them, because there's nothing there to see. I had nice sheet metal valve covers on it, but then you got the Action Plus, the crappy Holly carb I had on it, 650, long tubes, that's it, stock motor. Electric water pump I think I had on it at the time. Stuff to make it try to go as fast as it could with what I had. I mean, and that car, anybody that knows that black car, it was junk. I had $2,500 into that whole entire car when it went 1060s. That was it. I had wood pounded in the springs to raise it up, to clear the tires. It was garbage. Everything was used in it. There wasn't a new part on that car. Not one. I don't even think I had new headlights in it. But there wasn't. I'm sorry. I put LED light bulbs in it. That was probably the newest part in that car. The point of that story is I banged it out the hole. If it wasn't for that, who knows what would have happened. That's your best course of action on any way of racing. All the power from the hit. Point blank. might sound like a repetitive process, this video or whatever. You know, it might sound like stories and a lot of off subject stuff, but it all comes full circle, I promise. From the hit. At your best form of action. From the hit. Another example, I ran a guy, black Mustang, in a shootout, and it's a blower car. He makes me give him a car, I think it was a car, and a leave. The car sits like I do. It actually sat better. The car had a cam in it, Mustang, with a cam, GT40 heads, and a blower. In street racing, that sits the same, minus the camshaft, as what I did, because I had stock heads, stock 302, nitrous. So they're both 302s a piece, single ladder a piece. Like I said, I have one plate, 2 stages on one plate, single ladder. That's how, notice, 2 stages, 1 plate, single ladder. There's a reason why I have 1 plate. Stack plates, that becomes 2 ladders. You have it tied into 1 plate, especially if you use it all at once. 1. So this guy, he makes me give him a handicap. 2, basically. Meanwhile, I should theoretically, because he's got a cam, I should theoretically have something in this. But whatever. Give him the handicap. I come around him. Boom. We leave, and I have him right from the rip. As soon as he leaves, I bang it. Boom. I'm out on him. I see that I'm out on him. Like, all right. I hear him, but I know that I'm ahead. So I let out, because my car's done. I'm on valve float at this point. So I let off the buttons. Go through. Boom. He goes, why'd you let off? Well, there's no reason me wasting my motor. But I hit it from the rip. Now, if I would have did that the opposite way, he would have left on me. Let's say I hit 1 stage. I might have been able to leave with him on 1 kit. And then hit the other kit as I'm going into, say, 3rd gear. Yeah, I might start to run him down. But once I hit that valve spring float, I'm at a wall. So now I'm here. Instead of up here, I'm here with him. I'm next to him. So now at this point, I have to put down a mile an hour or so over him, or at least half. I have to figure out how to get that mile an hour, but I'm on valve spring float at this point, so I can't. That's why you hit it from the rip. That story could have ended completely different if I would have activated that nitrous differently. But since I put it all down, boom, I out 60 him. I'm out on him. Now he's got to run me down. I'm on valve float. Now, yeah, sure, he might be able to come past me, but he couldn't. I'm out on him already. I let off. I'm off the nitrous. I'm still holding it to the floor, and I'm containing the mile per hour I've already put down. Because I put down 100 and I think I went, at that point, I think the car was going like 118. It wasn't up there because the springs were shot. Might have been like 119. But I'm putting down 119 before I hit the 1320. I'm at 119 and that's it already. Boom. Before the 1,000-foot mark, let's just say. Instead of reaching that 119 closer to the 1320, I'm already at it at the 1,000. So I already put all that. I put down, I'll put it to you this way. When the car is fixed, it went 124. So I'm putting down a slip that's capable of going 124 mile an hour. But now I'm handicapped at that 119 because I needed springs. But I got there quick. So instead of the car going, say, 1120s, it's going to 1090. Now at this point, the car only went 11.0. That was the fastest it's gone. And that's what this was an 11.0 shootout. I went to the track a couple nights later. The car went 1090 and it broke the rocker. I had to end up putting a mismatched rockers on it, and I think I ended up changing springs or something, and I ended up getting the car to go 1060. But where I activated that nitrous played a big role in that car going what it went, because I hit it from the jump, right off the start, instant. As soon as my foot was leaving the brake and my right foot was on the gas to the floor, both them buttons were, it was one shot. Gas to floor, buttons on. Quick. It's like having a watt switch. Wide open throttle switch. But you might say, well, why didn't you just do that? I like having nitrous on buttons so I can, if I break traction while I'm out 60 feet, I can let off one kit, get it contained, or let off both kits even, get it contained, get back on it, boom. If you watch my no prep with the Blazer, you'll hear me doing it. This video ended up being a lot longer than I anticipated. They always do, it seems. But hopefully these are some good examples to let you guys understand why you want to hit the nitrous from the rip, especially if you're racing somebody. Nitrous it's not exciting if you're not hitting it out the hole. I will say that. You hit it from a roll, it's not like Fast and the Furious where it blows you back in the seat and it's wow. You hit it out the gate, that first 60 feet is going to be your most exciting part of the pass. After that, you're just along for the ride, and it's okay. You know, you're on the bottle, and it's going, is what it is. But nitrous can make something act different. Especially off the start. It'll make it act way different. But, hopefully this helps you guys out. Hopefully, you know, if you try this, let me know how you make out and how it feels, because you're going to feel a difference. If you're one of the guys out there that's hitting it in second gear and, you know, hit that thing from the jump, right from the start, let me know how it is. I promise you won't be let down if that thing works. As long as that car bites and it hooks, you will not be let down. Unless you break something, then you might. But you'll find your weakest link. But, if it makes a pass, you're going to be in for it. So, hold on. Alright. I'm going to cut it off here. If you guys want more information on this, leave comments below. If you like this stuff, I guess subscribe. Try and make some more videos for you guys. And that's it. I'll talk to you guys. See you around. Have a good one.